say, say we have, we need to explain our like a CI/CD pipeline. So we have our CI/CD pipeline we need to explain. So what are the steps we will have in the CI/CD pipeline? So in the CI we are going to use like source code management, then our pipeline tool, then build, unit testing, then integration testing. So unit testing, integration testing, then static code analysis. So for static code analysis itself, there is one more name we can call continuous inspection. So we have the continuous inspection. Said mostly like we need to integrate all these. Developer will check that issues, all those. And what is the purpose of quality gate? What is the purpose of quality gate? If any of the static code analysis has been failed, then if any of the static code analysis has been failed, then quality gate is not going to proceed our pipeline. It is going to terminate our pipeline. Okay, so static code analysis only upload the like results to Sonar Queue. What quality gate will do is, if any of the quality gates has been not like successful, then it's going to stop. Then Nexus or JFrog. The Nexus or JFrog, we are going to use it for the Artifactory purpose. So most of the companies may use like after static code analysis itself, they're going to store into Artifactory. Before that, they're not recommended to keep. That means if the quality gate is successful, then only they're ready to keep it in the Artifactory they're going to use. So additional to this, your companies may have some more additional kind of tools also for like maybe virus scanning, or like we have any vulnerabilities. If you have these kind of tools, integration also is required. We may need to do those, maybe third-party tools or maybe internal tools. Okay, so sometimes we need to whitelist also. So what is the concept of whitelisting the binaries? That means in the source code, the developers may use a lot of jar files or a lot of DLLs or a lot of third-party tools, a lot of modules, but those binaries may be commercial one. In the dev and QA environment, it's maybe fine, but with the production, what is the problem is, if those are like a commercial kind of binaries, we need to purchase the licenses also. Those owners may proceed legally, and we may need to pay a lot of money for those companies. So that is the reason, whenever we are going to deploy that, there may be like a whitelist. This all depends upon your company. We may need to integrate. After that, we are going to perform the CD. Say in the CD, we are going to do continuous deployment. Say we need to do the continuous deployment. And in the continuous deployment, the first step we have is infrastructure as a code. Say we are going to create the Terraform kind of scripts or CloudFormation templates, or maybe Ansible also little bit we can use. And it's going to provision the infrastructure. Once we provision the infrastructure, intentionally we are including Ansible, but directly we can go for Docker also. But why we kept Ansible is, for some of the automation, we want to tell Ansible also. Okay, so then we are going to use the Docker. In the Docker, first we are going to create the images. Say we may have either Docker file. It's a single stage Docker file, but in the real time, we will have the multi-stage Docker file. We will have multi-stage Docker file. Yesterday with the class, what I understand is you forget complete about the Docker file, all those. Just go through those Docker videos also. Okay. Say Kubernetes, at least recently we discussed, but Docker videos also go through multi-stage Docker files. Mostly we will have. Then in that, we are going to keep the all the image instructions, how we are going to build the instructions. And once we build the Docker images, all these, then we need to scanning the images. In order to scan the images, we may have third-party tools like Anchor kind of thing or Trivi kind of deal, or even we can enable scanning in the ECR kind of things. Or but better to perform local scanning. Then in the registry, whenever you use ECR or ACR or Docker Hub, we have already like the scanning is going to happen. But at the time of pushing is not a best practice. Locally also better to scan the images. After this, we need to push to registry. In this scenario, it's maybe Docker Hub or we may have Docker Hub or ECR or ACR or maybe Docker trusted registries also. We may have the private registries also we may have. Then like finally we need to do the deployment. That's maybe as a deployment as container we need to run. So maybe if it is a small environment, we may need to run it as a container. Okay, if it is a small environment, we are going to run it as a container. And if it is like in the production environment, we may need to use Docker Compose or Docker Swarm. But we are not going to use here Docker environment for the deployment in the production. Then we are going to use the Kubernetes, and mostly that would be with the EKS itself. And once we integrate this, we may need to do the Selenium kind of testing also, or if we have the Tosca kind of things, those kind of continuous testing, then we may need to integrate with Jira or ServiceNow kind of tools also for the reporting. And even in the Kubernetes itself, we are going to deploy Prometheus and Grafana. And when we are going to deploy into the Kubernetes, when we are going to deploy into Kubernetes, we are using Helm charts. We are using the Helm charts. So for all the microservices, we are going to prepare the Helm charts, and from that we are going to deploy our applications. From that applications, we are going to deploy. So that is one of the purpose we are going to use the Helm charts. Okay, so these all the applications we are going to maintain. Yeah. Any doubts on this? So now, like already we have integrated with the GitHub, and the webhook is going to be triggered. So how we are going to trigger the pipeline means what we will tell through the webhook we are going to deploy all these. And before Docker and Kubernetes, our deployment is done through Ansible itself. So today we are using like Docker and Kubernetes, and on top of Kubernetes, we are going to deploy using the Helm charts. But prior to that, what we used to do is we used to use the Ansible playbooks, and that Ansible playbooks also will trigger from Jenkins. Okay, so then you need to tell based on this pipeline. After you explain this pipeline, you need to tell some of the roles and abilities also, roles and responsibilities also. So these are my roles and responsibilities. Every day I will attend the daily scrum calls. I'll perform the CI/CD kind of things, infrastructure provisioning, infrastructure monitoring, then application deployments, application monitoring. So like this, we should able to tell some responsibilities also. Then they will ask some of the questions. What are the resources you have created through Terraform and one Ansible, maybe playbook kind of things. Then they're going to ask more about the Kubernetes, like architectures and what are the Helm charts and resources like services, all these also they will ask you. Then like Python and some Linux basic commands also, they're going to ask in the interviews. Okay, so then like what are the issues you got? Like maybe 3 or 4 issues we got in the Kubernetes also. We should able to explain these application deployments. Then you should able to tell at least which of the AWS services, 15 services at least you should able to tell. So these are the services I have worked with AWS and I have provisioned most of the infrastructure through Terraform. Most of the infrastructure I have provisioned through Terraform, and I'll share some Agile and ITIL process also. We should tell we have some exposure towards ITIL and Agile kind of methodologies. And today we are going to use the HDLC model is we are going to use the HDLC is Scrum kind of methodology. Okay, so we are going to use the Scrum kind of methodology. We are going to use. Okay, so once we done these things, like maybe like your project details, project like it's not a testing or a Java kind of development kind of thing. You no need to go more deep into this. Even we can tell like we can project like we have multiple deployments we are going to take care. Multiple deployments, some of them may be in Kubernetes, some of them in AWS EC2 instances. Like this, we can explain the project. No need to go more deep into project architecture, project modules. Those all QA or maybe like Java guys need to know the project architecture. Basic, what is the project name, what is the purpose of that project, which type of applications they're going to use, and what services from us, our side, we are going to use. These all we should able to explain. These all we should able to explain from the project wise. Okay. Say any doubts on this? Any doubts? Then from Jenkins wise, we are going to use declarative pipeline. So we are not going to use the scripted pipeline, that is the older method. So we are going to use the declarative pipeline we are using. Okay, so we are using the declarative pipeline. And if they ask about that pipeline syntax, yesterday I shared, right? So we need to share right that. And for 3 to 4 resources, Terraform script also we need to prepare, and 3 to 4 important Ansible scripts also. We need to Ansible playbooks also. And what is the playbook versus role or Terraform modules? So these also we need to know. And Kubernetes wise, Kubernetes architecture, Kubernetes most of the resources like pods, deployment, stateful sets, so then PV, PVC, all that resources. And Helm also go through that Helm video also we have. and most of the deployments we are going to use using Helm itself. That command we are going to integrate with, we are going to integrate from the Jenkins itself. Okay, yeah, and can you share me that
Yes, sir. I have already shared that.
PPK file also? So now here admin, I'm going to log into the Jenkins. So need to every day say suppose even the course is done also, every day integrate Jenkins with any of the tool. That's maybe with like JFrog or maybe with the AWS other services like EC2, S3. That's all not in your project related, but you need to explore the Jenkins skills. That means Jenkins can integrate it with more than 1,000 plus products. Jenkins can integrate it with the 1,000 plus products. That's based on that plugins, and we need to configure and need to troubleshoot, because there is no guarantee in your job will have these tools itself. We have chosen like most of the projects have those tools, but there are other tools also with the Jenkins, or instead of Jenkins they may use GitLab, they may use Azure. The pipeline is almost same, the syntax may be changes, the syntax may be changes. And if I go for the manage Jenkins, okay, I'm going to configure my Maven. Say for the build, I'm going to use the Maven. Previously, this JDK also need to set, Git also need to set up, but now they have taken those automatically, they have taken. And here we are going to install Maven 396. Save it. So now, yesterday pipeline, you need to do it by today, no one will do. So we'll go for that new item. So previously this pipeline also we don't get, we need to install a plugin also for this also, if you want to get this pipeline option. So I've chosen here the pipeline. And that pipeline in the real time, we are going to keep in the source code itself, in the GitHub repo itself, we are going to keep. And these triggered options also go through. Okay. And here I have my pipeline code. I'll copy that one. Yesterday I shared you right in the, and here instead of Maven, we given 396, I think. 393 or 396?
396, sir.
396. Okay. So then we need to give this credentials also. Yesterday my Docker Hub registry credential is
CloudSoft HYD.
CloudSoft HYD. Okay. Then here I need to give maybe one repo name, my Nginx
Nginx
app.
account.
So I'm going to give my credentials name as my Docker Hub. So these all how to update it. I'll explain. Okay. So then this is the repo we have, Maven clean test package. Here also, instead of this, we need to give our own details. Let's get into this. For this, you need to add two more steps in the CI. Those are already we have done Sonar Cube, right? Add the Sonar Cube step also. Then Nexus also we need to add. Then that would be the perfect CI kind of thing. Then I'm going to copy this pipeline, save it. So I'm downloading that PPK file. I need to install Docker also on this. Because in that Docker build, Docker, all these need to run, right? Sorry. I have enabled the Docker. Then what I need to do is for the Jenkins user, I need to give the permission. Let's get some error. After that, I'll do those settings. I've run that build. So it throws a lot of errors. All those errors we need to solve it. So it is downloading the complete source code. The Maven also, it may run Maven task also because Maven is there. So now here staging some build stage issue failed, but which version of Java you have?
Java version.
Is it 1.17 you have?
11.0.22. Open check.
Name I'm keeping same like 396 itself. I'll just test that Maven one. They're very old reports. I'm skipping that test case failure. What is this is if any test case failures, we are skipping that one. So this repo I'll take. In this, I need one more file. Mm, In this already in our repo, this file is there. Docker file is there. Okay, so then directly we can use this repo itself.
Sir, you forked the Spark Java report to CloudSoft Experiment, right?
Which one?
You forked the Spark Java report to Soft Experiment and then run that report.
Here it is showing build is successful. The tune package itself. Then what are you telling?
No, sir. No.
Get this success. After this build need to run. 1 second. We need to install one plugin. I'll install that plugin and we'll see. And then Jenkins. So Docker pipeline one
Docker
plugin is there.
pipeline.
Docker pipeline plugin need to install. If anything required any Docker related also, we'll see that. So now it is able to run this Docker build, but what we got the problem is, what is the problem we got is we don't have the permission to run those. So for that, for the Jenkins user to run the Docker containers, we don't have the permission. Normally, even for Ubuntu also, we don't have the permission. That's the reason we used to give sudo, right? Now here, what we need to do is user group is Docker and user is Jenkins. User is the And no need to restart the Jenkins, but just I have restarted. Again, I'll run. That some more Docker socket related issue will get, that permission also will give. Normally, before if we give this, this itself it used to take, but now it is not taking. So now I will try to build it.
Sir, did you install Docker plugin?
Docker pipeline is the plugin.
Okay.
Otherwise, that command won't run also. Now, what is the issue we have getting is that user doesn't have the permission to run it. It is running all the instructions on that machine as a Jenkins user. So now we got the permission. Now that build the image. If you see here, that is building the image. Okay, then we got the image also. Why we got here 5? Why we got that 5 here? Because we use one environment variable. We use one environment variable, that is build number. For the next time when we execute, we will get 6 is the tag of the image. We are going to get that. Okay, so then it is trying to, it's going to push into this. In order to push, what is the problem here is, we didn't added your credentials. You didn't added your credentials. What you need to do for the credentials? So go to manage Jenkins. So what is the repo we use here? What is the repo we use? So now it able to build it, but it is going to push it, okay, to the registry using our registry credentials. What are the registry credentials we have given in our environment variable? My Docker hub. Okay, in your manage Jenkins credentials, in the credentials, go to global credentials. Username and password. Say here my username is CloudSoft HYD. And I need to get that password. And what is the name of this ID is here we are going to pass. Here if I give Docker Hub, then I need to give here also as Docker Hub. But what I have given here, my Docker Hub. And I need to get that password. Able to log in, but I don't know the password here. So these credentials I need to store in this password. and name of the ID is my Docker hub. Okay, the same thing I'm going to give in here. In my pipeline also, I'll check that pipeline also, my Docker hub is there or not. Here also, my Docker, I'm not entering my credentials. Now, again, I'm going to run this pipeline. Now, image will get 6. Now it done, even image also it pushed. So Docker push CloudSoft HYD my nginx :6. Then it deleted that locally that image because it's already pushed, right? That is the reason it's removed that image also, Docker RMI. Which one it removed? It's locally image, it's removed. Okay, so then you can run it. Here it is running through. Okay, so that inspired 6 something, here we need to give our own repo. The CloudSoft HYD/ from that it is going to download and run. But whenever you are using in the real time, here instead of Docker run, what you need to use, maybe Docker stack deploy if it is a swarm environment. In Kubernetes, if you are using kubectl apply -k, that customize option, or if you are using Helm chart, that means through the single command itself, we are going to deploy your application. We are going to deploy our application. We are going to deploy like that. Okay, so then here it's almost finished, success. And if you go to your Docker hub also, if you go to this, say we got this 6th build. So this scout is analyze tool inside the Docker. Now we got that build is 6 and we got a lot of vulnerabilities in this. If you have these vulnerabilities, then we shouldn't deploy this in the real time. Okay, so who is going to give this vulnerability scanning in this scenario for us? Who is going to give this scanning? So Docker hub itself is giving to the tool called Scout. To the tool called Scout. Okay, so then it's going to deploy. But when we want to deploy through Kubernetes in that same pipeline, in the final step, you divide this into 2 steps. One is for removing the image locally. Okay, so then this step you move to another stage. So here if you are using kubectl, apply that -k, that folder path where you are running, that you can give. Otherwise, Helm install release name, that values file, that you can specify. So that means through a single command itself, we are deploying our application into Kubernetes also. Okay, so to this, we have already added the Sonar Cube. Nexus also we need to add. And in the same way, one more script would be there. These all need to run on that particular agent. That means this Kubernetes need to run on the agent where we have Kubernetes is there. Selenium where we need to run. Say in the another mission, if you have the Selenium, that agent you use for all. We don't use in the real time agent any itself. We need to use the labels, and that corresponding labels before itself we need to specify. And this stage we need to run on that particular. Label itself we need to run. On that label itself we need to. So if we are using maybe Kubernetes, if we are using, then that EKS related plugin also we can add. That EKS related plugin also we can add. So like this, we are going to deploy our applications. After that, in one more stage, we need to integrate with the testing kind of things also. Say everything we need to like integrate. That's we need to spend some time and need to integrate on the fly. We don't get that. So that expertise, if you learn with some other tools, you will get that kind of expertise. So try to integrate with Ansible, try to integrate with this like Terraform. Those all the scripts here in the SH, we need to, whatever the commands you are running, maybe Terraform plan, apply, those all you will run in the script. Or Ansible playbook you will execute from this itself. That all the code we are going to keep in source code management itself. And we want to run any Python scripts in the middle. That Python scripts code also we will keep in your like GitHub repo itself. From that path, we are executing all this. Hence, our single source of code is in the GitHub or GitLab, whatever it may be the repo, in that we are going to keep it. Okay, so try to integrate at least Nexus. Okay, sure. And this pipeline also yesterday I shared, right? Modify as per your requirements and run that pipeline. In the WhatsApp yesterday I shared you, right? This Docker pipeline one. That also try to run it.